So I've got a treat for you, and its name is Kingdra. It's actually on the bottom of the team list here. But anyways, what is going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today we are going to bring Jolteon, Serperior, Incineroar, Garchomp, Pelipper, and Kingdra to the Reg H ranked ladder. So let's start off with Serperior. Last time I used Serperior, I used Wide Lens and a Glare set with Tera Stellar. This is my Assault Vest set. I really like having Assault Vested Serperior with Leaf Storm and then usually Fake Tears shenanigans of some sort, whether or not I'm going for Fake Tears into my own Serperior or softening up a target for Serperior to get the bonus damage with the Leaf Storm. Now, I did a little bit of practicing last night with Jolteon and Serperior with Eerie Impulse and Fake Tears, and while that was fun, it kind of tied things up a little bit with the Jolteon, so we're going to touch on that in just a moment. But as far as our moveset goes, we have Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, Terra Blast, which is going to turn into a water-type attack when we Terastallize, and Dragon Pulse. The nice thing here, too, is when we Terastallize into a water-type, we're actually going to give ourselves a 50% boost with the Rain from Pelipper, so that is a nice little bit of synergy that we do have here. We have Incineroar here with Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Fake Out, and Parting Shot. I almost called Knockoff Knockout, which, you know what? New Oko move, Knockout. Just instant Dark type, just one punch. They just Saitama something. Anyways, getting back on track here, we have Intimidate on Incineroar to do Incineroar things. We have Parting Shot to pivot out. We have Fake Out to try to lock some things down. We have Knockoff to remove some items. And we have Flare Blitz to just do some damage. Now, because we do have Pelipper, the Flare Blitz, you might think it's a little out of place, but it's nice here in case we don't bring the Rain mode. So then we do have the Fire-type coverage to hit Grass-type Pokemon, since Serperior is going to have a little bit of a harder time breaking past those pesky Grass types. Now, we got Jolteon here with Tera Flying, and yes, you're probably already thinking it because you can see the Garchomp directly underneath this, but we have Tera Flying on Jolteon for Discharge, Earthquake, shenanigans. So we do have that. Jolteon becomes a Flying type. Garchomp can't hit it with Earthquake. Jolteon can't naturally hit Garchomp with Discharge, which means we don't have to worry about them hitting each other, so that could be really nice. And plus, Discharge does have a really nice chance of causing paralysis, so we do have that working in our favor. We have a Focus Sash here to keep Jolteon intact. And then as far as our moves go, we have Discharge as our only damaging move, so I got to be very careful if Incineroar and Serperior are on the field. I won't be able to go for damage with Jolteon. I'll have to pivot around those two Pokemon if I want to go for Discharge with Jolteon. But Discharge is primarily more for when Garchomp is on the field. Otherwise, Jolteon is clicking Helping Hand to boost up damaging output moves, or the output of damaging moves for its partners. It's got Fake Tears to either bolster Serperior's special defense, and then we can also go from there. And I'm also realizing here that I have a bold nature on this Jolteon. It's supposed to be timid, so if you decide that you're going to steal this, don't use bold. Use timid. Use timid. Timid is definitely much better for a Jolteon in this case. And then we got the Garchomp here with Earthquake, Stomping Tantrum, and Dragon Claw. We got the Rough Skin to get a little bit of chip damage onto my opponents that might want to hit Garchomp. And then we are doubling up our Ground-type stab with the Life Orb. The other thing we can always do, too, with Jolteon is we can always click Protect next to Garchomp and then just go for the double stab Earthquakes instead, and then switch to Stomping Tantrum the following turn. So we do have that 1-2 punch as well with the Garchomp. We got Pelipper here with Terra Ground to make sure that we don't discharge ourselves. And worst case scenario, if our Terra is already burned, well, we do have the Wide Guard here. We have Tailwind as well. And then we have Weather Ball and Hurricane for some damage. So we do have that. And then finally, we have Tera Stellar Scope Lens Kingdra to give our attacks that extra oomph. The nice thing here too is with Kingdra and Pelipper on the field, Scald is going to naturally benefit from the rain on top of having its nice 30% burn chance. So I missed you, Scald. Welcome back, Scald. We are going to have some fun today. We have Draco Meteor to also double up on the stab from Tera Stellar's one-time boost, so that is going to be nice. And then Hurricane can't miss in the rain, so why not give it an extra 20% boost in power as well with the Tera Stellar? So anyways, this is the team in a nutshell. Let's jump right on into those battles. All right, we've got Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Incineroar, Toxapex, Umbreon, and Espeon. All right, feeling some Colosseum vibes here. And a Alolan Ninetales. Now, Kingdra could be really nice here. Now that I'm thinking about it, Cover Cloak could have been really nice in Kingdra too to get around Fake Out. But yeah, Kingdra looks really nice. The Toxapex is probably here for Wide Guard. So I think what I could do is I can go Serperior and Kingdra. If I need to, I can switch in Pelipper. Yeah, I can do that. And honestly, I think Jolteon could be really nice here too. Pelipper's got Wide Guard, so I do have that. Jolteon fake tearsing something could be really nice too, so you know what, that's fine. I think this is what we do. The Espeon is probably the Trick Room Mon too, so if we can get rid of Espeon, that could be really nice, because Espeon's probably got Trick Room. It's one of those weird fast Pokemon that gets Trick Room that people don't expect it to carry, but my opponent's team is extremely slow, so I feel like the Espeon does have it. At least that is what my gut is telling me, but my gut is also telling me to eat more than just bagels in the morning. Alright, so Espeon Toxapex, so no Fake Out. This is handy. So I think we Leaf Storm into you, and I think we Scald as well. Between the two of these Pokemon, I should be able to deal with Espeon. Toxapex isn't threatening a lot of damage. It could potentially poison Serperior or Kingdra, but oh, it's just a luring voice coming right out of the gate. All right, so just Espeon's just going for damage. That was cute. Serperior is getting its speed up, which is great. Or not speed, special attack. Kingdra unfortunately did not pick up the KO, but the burn might actually be enough right there. So we're gonna see Toxic Spikes coming out of the Toxapex. So let's see, is it enough? Not quite. All right. So I think what I could do is I could Terrastalize. Espeon's going down to its own burn this turn, which is nice. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just drop the poison weakness. Serperior is also going to get a free hit into the Alola Ninetales, which is great. So becoming a water type is not the worst thing imaginable now. Now, one slight problem is Serperior is starting to get set up, but Pelipper is going to be really nice for getting rid of the snow. So, what do? I protect Kingdra. That's what I first do. And then, if I get this Leaf Storm off into Ninetales, it's going to be major damage. Pelipper's also a flying type Pokemon, so it wouldn't take the Toxic Spikes, which is nice. So there is that. Espeon goes down here. Yeah, okay. Getting speed up for Kingdra would be really appreciated, but I think I'm okay. There's the Blood Moon. Ooh, yes please. Okay. Now my opponent can still Terrastalize. And I think getting rid of the Ninetales is going to be for the best. And I'm going to bring in Pelipper just in case. Because being able to go for fake tears into stuff with Jolteon, like, I can't Discharge next to Serperior, but Serperior could always benefit from a fake tears itself, get a special defense boost, since I do have the Ursaluna to deal with. Poison on the Ursaluna, okay. Poison's not one I usually see. I usually see normal. I did run into a couple Tera Fairy when I was practicing last night, which that was different. But anyways, Ninetales goes down. Ursaluna's going to be okay here. Hyper Voice does a lot, but I think what I can do here is I can Wide Guard. Yeah, I think I can Wide Guard to dodge a... I can Wide Guard to dodge a potential Hyper Voice, and what I can also do too is I can also take advantage of the fact that I just gave myself Rain and boost up Serperior's Water-type Terra Blast and just go for some massive damage into that Ursaluna. So we could do that, and then it's just a matter of just dealing with this Toxapex. So not quite enough to knock out the Ursaluna, and it's going to be a Blood Moon into Serp instead. Alright. Serp gets to hang in there, so My opponent must have thought Toxapex was the target here, which thankfully it was not. I'm going to Giga Drain. What do I got in the back? I got the Jolteon. I got the Kingdra. In theory, I might be able to deal with that Toxapex. How fast is my Pelipper here? Because this is a different one than I normally use. Oh, we are max speed. Okay, okay. I'm going to leave Storm into you. And I'm going to Hurricane into you. I'm just going to hope they don't have... they do have Vacuum Wave. But the Assault Vest, okay. The Assault Vest keeps me intact. We just one-shot the Toxapex right there. And Pelipper is going to clean this up with the Hurricane. That is going to be wonderful. Alright, the Vacuum Wave did scare me. The Vacuum Wave was really concerning. But the Assault Vest came through. We take out the Ursaluna. And we do clean that up relatively nicely. So... Serperior and Pelipper worked out. Kingdra did a little bit of stuff. I mean, picking up the burn of the Espeon with the Scald was really nice. Jolteon, Jolteon, it was there, but Jolteon just didn't get to do anything this time, but it was there. It came. Anyways, good game to my opponent. All right, we've got Garchomp, Talonflame, Toxtricity, Basculegion, Zarina, and Gardevoir. So because I don't see a direct rain setter, I have a feeling this might be Choice Scarfed Basculegion, which could be a little bit concerning. Now, the other thing too is Serperior does not love the Talonflame. It doesn't love the Toxtricity. So this might actually be a Jolteon and Garchomp game. Or it's a Pelipper Kingdra game. The nice thing here too is I have a couple of different pairings here that I could always go with. But anyways, Jolteon and Garchomp might be okay here. That could be nice. I could also go for the Pelipper and Kingdra stuff too. Yeah, I could technically do that. Because I could always go for Tailwind. Now, they do have the access to Trick Room with Gardevoir. I don't know if Gardevoir would necessarily have it, though. I think I'm going to go Pelipper Garchomp. I'll bring Jolteon in the back, and I think I'm going to bring Kingdra. I don't think I need the Incin. I can't fake out with the Zarina anyway, so there is that. Queenly Majesty off Zarina, for those who don't know, it cancels out priority moves like Armor Tail, so it doesn't matter if the opponent is like a non-grounded Pokemon, like say Talonflame, where Psychic Terrain would be bypassed by a Flying type not being grounded, so... The good news here is it's Garchomp and Talonflame into Pelipper in my Garchomp. So I'm going to try to get Tailwind off of my Pelipper, and I think I'm just going to protect this one turn. I do have the Jolteon. The nice thing here too is if they just Tailwind with Talonflame, it's not the end of the world for me. And what I could do is I can always go Wide Guard and Tera Ground Earthquake to at least hit their Garchomp. We're going to get a Terastallization out of my opponent, which is great to see. So it's going to be their Garchomp. Are they? They are turning into a Steel type, so Earthquake looks phenomenal here. Especially if I go Tera Ground next turn and drop my Ground type, or my Dragon type weakness, Dragon Claw. So there is that. Now, Brave Bird is not going to be something I want to take. Brave Bird is going to hurt a lot, but their Garchomp is just going for mine. I'm going to go for my Tailwind. And I can Earthquake and Weather Ball. Earthquake and Weather Ball seems kind of safe here. This is also a max speed Pelipper too, so having the Tailwind up should be handy. So 128, 166. Alright. Too bad Pelipper doesn't get Quick Guard. Quick Guard would have been nice here, but you know what? That's fine. We're gonna Earthquake next to the Garchomp, or we're gonna Earthquake with our Garchomp into theirs. We're gonna try to Weather Ball the Talonflame. I just need to win the speed tie and hope the Dragon Claw isn't enough. Now, they might double up into me, or they might Will-O-Wisp me too, which, honestly, Will-O-Wisp would be really bad here, but getting Terra Ground off is going to be potentially okay. If they just Brave Bird and... Yeah, no, they did have the Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Not what I want to see on my Terra, but I can at least still do some decent damage to that Garchomp. Potentially. I also get the rocky skin damage, which is nice too, so this will at least break the Gale Wings. So I can hit them with the Earthquake and go for some super... Ooh, even Burn, that's still a lot of damage into their Garchomp, which is nice. And plus we've seen Dragon Claw back-to-back off Garchomp, which means they very well could potentially be a Scarf set, but it's only been 2 turns, so it's a little hard to rule that out just yet. They might have just expected me to not Terrastalize this turn, and they might have just expected to be able to pick up a knockout with the Dragon Claw, so there is that. Now, Gardevoir is coming in here, so that could be a little bit precarious for Pelipper, but Pelipper could Weather Ball or Hurricane into the Gardevoir. Honestly, I do have Kingdra in the back. I kind of want to preserve Pelipper because I think I have 3 turns of rain left. I kind of want to preserve Pelipper, and honestly, Stomping Tantrum at this range might be enough. Single target ground with double stab. This might be enough. Gardevoir is considerably slower than Garchomp too, so in theory... Okay, so that rules out the Scarf right there, because they do have the Protect. But I can Discharge and Stomping Tantrum, which would be phenomenal. Assuming Jolteon gets... Jolteon should be able to survive, because I have the Sash on the Jolteon and not the Garchomp. Or, not the Pelipper. Okay, so now I can't Discharge, but what I could do is I could Wide Guard next to my own Jolteon. Or I just bring in Kingdra, because Kingdra does have speed going for it right now, so there is that. Now, Dazzling Gleam off Gardevoir is going to hurt. So, I'm going to Discharge. I'm going to protect Kingdra here. So, I'm hoping Jolteon's got enough firepower to take out the Garchomp at this range. And we're going to outspeed both of these Pokemon, which is wonderful. So, we do pick up the Garchomp. Now I can focus fire on the Gardevoir with Kingdra. So, Garchomp's gone. Gardevoir is damaged. That's one potential threat for Kingdra just removed. Jolteon gets to hang in there too, so our 2 Tailwinds are now gone. Kingdra does have speed. And what I could do is I can go for a Helping Hand off a Jolteon and just hope this Basculegion just does not hit Kingdra. With a Last Respects, or just hope Kingdra is faster. Yeah, there's that. Just so long as Kingdra is faster than Basculegion, I should be okay. For all I know, they might go for Jolteon, which is kind of why I wanted to go for the Helping Hand. Technically, what I could have did was I could have Fake Tears as well into the Basculegion, but where's the fun in that? Alright, so I just need Kingdra to survive this turn. Kingdra's faster than the Basculegion. We knock out the Gardevoir. That's a start. Okay. But it was Jolteon that took the hit. Okay. That is wonderful. So, we got confirmation that Kingdra was actually faster than the Basculegion. So, that makes me think my opponent is going to want to try to go for the Kingdra this turn. So, if I just double Hurricane, that should clean things up right here. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, okay. I was expecting Basculegion to take way more damage from that. But Pelipper's going to get the Hurricane. The nice thing, too, is there's still the potential chance. Oh, wait, there we go. Mostly useless status condition ever because I have terrible RNG with Confusion. But you know what? If they hit themselves, that's great. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. The confusion actually won the game for me right there, which, you know what? The double Hurricane, it worked out. I mean, the other thing too is the Hurricane didn't have stab coming off Kingdra, but at least I had the boosted odds of getting the confusion since I had the back-to-back Hurricanes. So very glad that Basculegion took itself out. Glad that Jolteon got to hit the Garchomp with the Discharge, which is weird when you think about it, but hey, that's what you get for running Tera Steel. The Will-O-Wisp into my Garchomp was terrible, but we still did a lot of damage to their Tera Steel, which was very helpful at the end of the day. So I think that worked out pretty good. Good game to my opponent. All right, so we've got Indeedee, Armarouge, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Torkoal, and Dragonite. Now, not a lot of Pokemon that I want to see for my Kingdra, but I kind of want to bring Kingdra anyways, not gonna lie. Garchomp might be nice. I'm fairly certain Hisuian Lilligant still outspeeds it, though. That said, Incineroar could cover for a Lilligant lead, because I could always intimidate it potentially. They might be Terra Ghoster or Covert Cloak, so that could be okay. I don't mind having Pelipper here. Turning on Swift Swim for Kingdra and then going for Hurricane could be amazing into the Lilligant. Yeah. And I think we bring Garchomp. Like, Earthquake does a lot of damage into a lot of these Pokemon, and it gets around Follow Me. So, if I can get Lilligant off the field, Garchomp threatens a lot of these Pokemon. It doesn't threaten the Blood Moon, but Kingdra does that. So Kingdra's got that part of the job covered. So maybe what I can do here is I can pop my Stellar Tera on the Kingdra and just go for some major damage. Alright, so who is it going to be? It is going to be not a combination I was expecting here, but you know what? I can live with that. Alright. I think what I do here, I think I fake out into the Lilligant. I think I go for the Stellar Tera. And I think I Scald the Blood Moon. Yeah, I think I can do that. Kingdra is at max speed, so in theory, I shouldn't have to worry about the Blood Moon. And if the Blood Moon terrestrializes, well, a Stellar boosted Scald is going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, so even if this is the Ursaluna, I should be okay here. So let's see here. It is the Ursaluna. Okay. I'm just hoping that Hisuian Lilligant is sashed instead of Cloak. If it's sashed, that's great. So, Moment of Truth. Oh, thank you for the critical hit, Incineroar. They do flinch, so that means they're probably sash. And this Scald is going to do a lot of damage. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I don't like the Blood Moon coming in here, but... Oh, that's into Kingdra. That's a little spooky. Yeah, that's a straight-up knockout. Okay. Not ideal, but... Garchomp can come in here. What I can do here is... I should be able to Dragon Claw the Lilligant. Yeah, I should be able to Dragon Claw the Lilligant. And Incin should be able to knock out the Blood Moon here. I'm going to Flare Blitz. And I'm going to Dragon Claw. The nice thing here, too, is the Incin threatens the Blood Moon so nicely because Blood Moon's HP is so low. Now, if I just switched in Pelipper like I initially wanted to, what I could have did was I could have just probably picked up the KO with Kingdra at that point. But mistakes were made. Yeah, mistakes were definitely made there. There's a Protect coming in off of the Blood Moon, but I'm going for the Dragon Claw into the Lilligant. Lilligant's going to go for close combat. Not enough to knock out Incineroar, though, so I get another chance. And with that defense drop, that definitely means Garchomp is sitting really pretty for that Lilligant. So what I could maybe even do is I could, if Torkoal comes in here, what I do is I withdraw Incin and go for an Earthquake. Yeah. I could do something like that. I mean, that would be ideal. The nice thing here, too, is I am Life Orb Garchomp, so I do have the bonus damage there. And Ursaluna's HP is relatively low. It is going to be the Dragonite. Alright, so I want to Parting Shot you, and I want to Dragon Claw you. All right. Who is it going to be? Is it Torkoal? It is indeed Torkoal. Okay. Getting an Earthquake off into, or a Dragon Claw off into Torkoal is not the worst thing imaginable. Especially since I do have Garchomp. I don't think it's... Ooh, Tailwind. That's kind of spicy. Not going to lie. That will let them outspeed Garchomp, though, which is not great. But Garchomp can always protect. Just saying. I think what I do is I think I Tailwind with Pelipper. And I think I protect Garchomp. Because I think Torkoal protects. I think that's the obvious play. And I think a Dragon Claw comes into Garchomp. Now, I could be completely wrong. A Dragon Claw could come... Ooh, Scale Shot. Okay. That's even better to dodge. Not gonna lie. I get my Tailwind up too. So they went for an Earth Power into the Garchomp slot too. Okay. So now I think I should be okay. Because what I can do here is I can Hurricane into the Dragonite, and I can Dragon Claw. And I can leave Torkoal alone for right now. So there's so much damage right there, which is just delightful. They are going to get Scale Shot off into the Garchomp, which this probably will knock me out, unfortunately. But if I can knock out the Dragonite with Pelipper, that's great. We also saw the protected... The Ursaluna does no protect, so I do have to be a little bit careful of picking my targets. But if Pelipper can pick up this knockout, that's great. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So Incin is going to be slower than Pelipper. And because Garchomp fainted, the Earth Power just does not go into Pelipper, which is great. So, in theory, I think unless this Torkoal is, like, locked into Earth Power, I think Fake Out Weather Ball is okay. Especially since my opponent could just go for two protects if they aren't locked into anything. So I think I just Weather Ball into the Ursaluna, and I think I just Fake Out into the Torkoal. And on the off chance the Torkoal has a Covert Cloak, I mean, that will keep it safe. But anyways, we see Protect. Fake Out comes out. Moment of Truth. Did the Torkoal flinch? Yes, it did. Okay, good. No Covert Cloak. I'm the only weirdo that does that. Okay, so we Weather Ball into you. And we knock off into you. And that should be okay here. So, we get rid of Torkoal here, which saves Incineroar to hit the Ursaluna. And unless a Blood Moon comes out into Pelipper, I'm okay. And even then, Incin is still faster than Blood Moon. So, I should be okay here. Yeah, we just knock it out with the knockoff. So, we do secure the win right there with Incineroar and Pelipper. So, it was a little unfortunate. that we didn't get to take full advantage of my stellar Kingdra by knocking out that Hisuian Lilligant, but the nice thing here was Kingdra did do all that damage to the Ursaluna, so with the Life Orb recoil on top of the Scald, like, we almost knocked out Ursaluna, and then that put it within range where Knockoff did the job. And then Pelipper was able to finish off the Torkoal with the Weather Ball there. And it was also really good that they had Sash Lilligant and not Covert Cloak. And the Intimidate definitely helped because we were able to live the close combat because of that. So overall, pretty happy with how that worked out. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking out this Serperior and Jolteon team in action. Everybody, we got to do a little bit of something today in today's battles. We got to bring Serperior in game 1, and we started to snowball those special attack boosts with Serperior, and Kingdra got to come and burn an Espeon with the Scald, which was just delightful. We ended up going up against Tera, Poison, Ursaluna, Blood Moon in that match, as well as a Alolan Ninetales, and Serperior just started tearing through things left, right, and center with the Leaf Storms. We also got to hit the Ursaluna with a Water type Terra Blast boosted in the rain, which was just wonderful. And then in game 2, Jolteon and Garchomp got to come and work together here. Now, Jolteon didn't get to go for the Tera Flying, but Garchomp went for the Tera Ground. And despite getting burned by the Talonflame, we were able to hit the Tera Steel Garchomp for some major damage with a Ground Tera boosted Earthquake. And then Jolteon was able to come in and clean up that Garchomp. We ended up having to deal with Gardevoir and Basculegion at the end, but thankfully for me, Kingdra and Pelipper were able to turn it into a 2v1 and then eventually a 1v1 between Pelipper and Basculegion, with Basculegion fainting to its own confusion. We got to land back-to-back Hurricanes into it thanks to Kingdra being naturally faster in the rain than the Basculegion, and then Pelipper was able to hit it for some major flying type stab damage as well, picking up the confusion with its Hurricane, and then Basculegion just fainted to its own confusion. And plus Kingdra got to pick up the knockout on the Gardevoir, which was just wonderful as well. And then in our third game here, we played up against Torkoal, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Hisuian Lilligant, and Dragonite, and this was Incineroar's game for sure. Now, Incineroar was able to pick up the knockoff into the Ursaluna Blood Moon at the very end, knocking it out after my Tera Stellar Kingdra did drastically weaken the Tera Normal Blood Moon with its Scald, but unfortunately they went for Tera Normal Blood Moon right into Kingdra, and Kingdra was definitely not living that, but we were able to pull it back. Incineroar was able to weaken the Hisuian Lilligant and break a potential Focus Sash with Fake Out on its initial turn right there. I almost called Fake Out, Fake Off. I gotta move Knock Off and Fake Out away from each other because I'm gonna keep mixing them up. But anyways, Incineroar got the Fake Out into Hisuian Lilligant turn 1 when Kingdra did hit that Blood Moon, which was nice. And then we had to play around Torkoal and Dragonite with Garchomp, but Garchomp was able to pick up the Dragon Claw into the Dragonite, and Pelipper finished it off with a Hurricane, and then Pelipper and Incineroar cleaned out between Torkoal and the Blood Moon, which worked out very nice at the end. So let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. If you have any item suggestions, be sure to let me know as well. I'd love to pick your brains and get some ideas out there. I thought Kingdra was an interesting Pokemon to try out, and a while ago I did catch a Seadra with a Stellar Terra type, so yeah, here it is as the Kingdra, or I just changed it, I don't remember, but anyways, Tera Stellar Kingdra. Point is, it's something that I wanted to try out for a while, and we finally got to test it out. While we did only get to pop it off in the one game, it did alright, it did enough damage, and plus if I had switched into Pelipper, that probably would have been a guaranteed knockoff, or knockout into the Blood Moon. Anyways, before I keep saying knock off or knock out, we're going to leave it there. Anyways, see you later.